Starburns Audio.
Thank you for listening to the Starburns Audio Podcast Network. We have so many great comedy shows to add to your playlist. Just last week on Starburns Audio, on The Grolic Saves the World, comedian Andrew Orvidal challenges his co-hosts Ben Roy and Adam Caton Holland to watch all 9 Fast and the Furious movies in 1 week. On Nobody Listens to Paula Poundstone, Tom Hanks tries to win their 100th caller contest and talks about his experience with the coronavirus. This week on The Boogie Monster, Kyle Kinane and Dave Stone discuss fake meat, strange beer mixes, and Dave's got a red bean and rice recipe. On Natch Butte, Jackie shares her quarantine skin woes, including eyelash serum irritation and indoor sunscreen necessities. Search Starburns Audio on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or any podcast platform for a full list of our shows, featuring hosts like Dulce Sloan, the Sklar Brothers, and Kyle Ayers. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Starburns Audio. Enjoy the show, and remember, stay safe, stay healthy, and keep laughing.
Oh, hey, it's me, Josh Gondelman. If you're anything like me, you're constantly torn between wanting to know what's going on in the world and feeling crushed beneath an avalanche of horror whenever you read the news. Doesn't anyone have any good news ever? Fortunately for all of us, I have a new comedy game show podcast called Make My Day. Every episode, 3 of my favorite comedians and best friends will compete to see who can put the best positive spin on the news and culture of the week. And then I declare a winner based on who cheers me up the most. Be sure to subscribe to Make My Day on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to podcasts so you don't miss a single episode.
Starburns Audio.
Dan and Ran and Jay will share tales of folks so unaware they lack in grace and sometimes choose the life they choose will make the news. Breaking down each epic fail in Florida, there's half-price bail. I'm happy to say they couldn't make this up. So listen to our podcast jam with co-host Arm and Dan. Benders, don't be a jerk, 'cause when the music hits, the funny hits, and we are gonna take you down. Stick around, make a sound, hunker down, it's Dumb People Town.
Hey Townies, welcome to another episode of Dumb People Town. Population you.
Population Meltzer.
Bradley Meltzer, how are you, sir? You are one of our closest friends in the world, and I'm so happy you're with us.
I love the fact that it's coming back. I love that it's not just the first appearance, but the return appearance. That makes it special to me.
You've been on the show a number of times. For people who don't know, New York Times best-selling author, friend of ours who we went to the University of Michigan with, friend of the show, and just a guy who has his whole life centered around understanding the behavior of stupid people.
Well, Brad, you are a Florida man. Period.
I live in Florida, and I write about the White House. How could I not be a master of stupid?
It's perfect.
It's literally like that's the PhD. It's those two things that form the PhD, the pillar of it.
You are your own Venn diagram.
Yeah, the inside of
it's
those
one
circles.
circle. It overlaps so much. It's just one circle.
Oh man, I'm so happy you're here with us. You have a new book out. We'll talk about that in the next segment.
The Lincoln Conspiracy.
We'll talk about it. I'm so excited about it. But first, we've got dumb stories to get to. Brad, do you want to jump right in with us?
We must.
All right, let's do it.
All right, let's do it. This was sent in by La Asinia. It's L-A-L-A. Let me take it again. It's at LAASESINAMMA. I feel like I just won a spelling bee.
Yeah, exactly. It's like the Mississippi River of Twitter handles.
There you go. La Asinia. So thank you so much for sending this in. The headline I will read you right now is Man Leads PBSO, that's the Peanut Butter and Jelly Sheriff's Office, on wild chase, stealing jewelry and other random things from homes.
Wait. The Peanut Butter and Jelly?
I don't know. PBSO. I was just making it up. It's Palm Beach.
I believed you too. I totally thought that was right. I was like, wow, they have that.
They do. Meltzer, it's kind of in your backyard
Palm
there.
Beach.
Palm Beach.
Yep.
I know that's...
I was actually wondering if it was Palm Beach. So I want a point for every Florida story, by the way, today.
Yes, you get a point.
So how far is Palm Beach from you?
So Palm Beach, I will tell you, is
deals?
about 45 minutes away.
Three drug deals.
3 drug deals away, right? So, but here's the thing about Palm Beach this is what you need to know about Palm Beach.
Okay.
Palm Beach is where every Like if you mess up in your life and you're wealthy, you have like you're a child molester, you do something horrible, and you want to recreate yourself.
You go to Palm Beach.
You go to Palm Beach.
Wow. So this is the reinvention of everybody who's screwed up. Like you.
And Palm Beach, by the way, is also the most expensive. It's like the Beverly Hills of Florida. Like it's where it's because you have to cross a bridge to get to it. It's not West Palm Beach.
West Palm Beach is different.
Regular.
That's different.
Right. West Palm Beach is like that's fine.
West Palm Beach is like don't go big. 5 miles in any direction because then you're in trouble.
And every store has like a dog dish for water, but not in like a nice kind way, but in like a fancy way.
Yeah, okay, got it.
Nice.
Got it. So if a dog starts to go and looks a little slobbery, they're like, get that out of here. Right.
Well, on Wednesday around noon, so we got some midday problems in Florida. Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office deputies walked up to Donald Howard, 2 first names.
Yep.
I'm like Donald Howard who?
Yeah, they walked up to Donald Howard, who appeared to be working on his car on the 4100 block of South Haverhill Road. Now, I love that he says appeared because that to them, that's them like being like he wasn't doing a goddamn thing.
No, he was like fake tinkering.
Can you can't work on your car, Brad. You don't know how to do that, do you?
I'm Jewish.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. So the idea that like. Jay and I worked at full service gas stations. Remember we came into school.
I remember you had the thing with on the corner.
Clark Oil. Yeah. So
you wore it to class?
No, we wore it to when we rushed the fraternity.
Really?
In school.
No, they wore it. Though. Listen, let's be clear.
We wore it a lot.
They wore it because they thought it was cool, and it was cool because
Yeah.
we were like, wait, you know how to fix a car? You're Jewish, and you know how to
We're
fix a car?
like,
That's
no.
like a miracle worker.
No, we're like no.
And then you told them the dipstick story?
Right. When people would ask us to look under the hood, we would walk around the front, open up the hood, count to 30 seconds, shut the hood, and be like, you're fine.
You guys look good.
That's probably what Donald Howard was
That's
doing.
what this guy was doing.
Yes.
Though the deputies were there to arrest him on an open warrant for contempt of court, which he just won't shut his mouth, Howard told them he had to leave, which somehow the only reason the rest of this story happens is because the police allowed that to happen.
Yeah. Hey,
We were here to arrest you. I know, but I
gotta go.
I got something I gotta do first.
I didn't know. I went to law school for 3 years, and I didn't know I gotta go is a great defense.
Yeah.
In Palm Beach, it is.
In Palm Beach, it works. All right, let him go.
He was probably on the Jeffrey Epstein Memorial Parkway down in Palm
Which
Beach.
is in Palm Beach.
Yes,
it
in
is
Palm
for
Beach.
sure.
He says he told them I had to leave. He jumped in his car, so he wasn't working on it that much.
Yeah.
And drove away, making a U-turn when they pulled out their guns. Which means
Jesus. Okay.
Not the way I left. First of all, it's not that he leaves.
No.
It's
They
the U-turn.
Yeah,
the
U-turn.
Yeah.
Look,
It's the
you
U-turn.
you can't. That's a no U-turn zone right there.
It's just a lot of them being like, Sir, D. Howard, stop.
Guns out.
Right, guns out, and then he just turns around. As Howard headed through backyards of homes in the area, like, remember the movie LA Story where they just like all those secret routes that Steve Martin takes driving through neighborhoods? As Howard headed through backyards of homes in the area.
And Brad, in Florida, like every front yard in Florida has like some sand in it, like it's near the beach, right?
But here's the thing: Palm Beach is known as the home of hedges. So
Right.
every home in Palm Beach is you can't see the front. So if you're going through there, you're wrecking like
Hedges.
$1 million hedges.
right.
Like
That's right.
it's crazy land.
Okay, so that's where he's going.
I'm guessing Donald Howard doesn't care.
Yeah.
He headed through backyard homes in the area. He hit a wood and chain link. That is fancy. You're going both material. A wood and chain link fence. So he left the car behind and ran. Deputies chased him, but lost him on the 4100 block of Caesar Circle. So he got only a couple blocks over. He's in the same numbers. So literally, he's just running
Look, they're
perpendicular to the numbers.
The police are just like, we can't. Let's just go to Testas.
Right. They're like, Don, you just go. Because I told Rick not to let you leave, and he said it was fine. So we're done with you, Don.
Yeah, we're done. You're done.
While deputies continued to search, Howard made pit stops along the way, burglarizing several homes, some unoccupied, and others with owners who had told him to leave their property. Which also, everybody's so lackadaisical. If you want to leave an arrest, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Just get out of here,
You want
man.
somebody to stop robbing you? Tell them to get the hell out
But
of
I
here.
I just admire people who are good at two things: bad driving and thievery.
Yes.
Right? He's like, I'm going to do both. You know what? I'm on
running
the
from the
run,
cops
but I might
anyway.
as well not let this go south. on
Look
me.
where I am. I might as well take some stuff while I'm here. It's
He's
like
multitasking.
He does not let the opportunity pass him by.
On the 4900 block of Canton Road, less than a mile north from where deputies lost sight of him, Howard went into an unoccupied home, took jewelry, a man's shirt, and refueled.
What?
Now, I know.
Does that
We
mean
need
he ate
it's
food?
all about the shirt for me right now. There's nothing but that shirt.
He was embarrassed that he was pitting out.
Yeah.
And he was like, I'm not getting arrested looking like an amateur
See,
coach.
my head went the other way. I actually thought, as a man who grew up in Florida and wore the ton sur ton, this must be a really nice shirt.
Right.
I thought this is going to be.
This is one of those.
Also, it's Palm Beach, so he probably busted out, he probably stole like a $90 Tommy Bahama.
No, he stole something.
No,
way
he stole
more
something
expensive.
that we don't know the name of.
That's right. Right. It's like a Ferragamo Ultra collection.
Like a no label helmet Lang.
Right, like one of those things that, like in LA, that everyone wears. Like they pay a lot of money to look like so much work to look so casual.
Yeah,
This is
exactly.
one of those shirts.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly.
Okay,
It
that's
just
a good
falls
call. I can get
correctly.
behind that.
That's true.
All right, I'm going to ask you guys. They say here, they specifically chose this word as he refueled. What do you think he drank in their house to refuel?
Brad, you're our guest. You can go first.
Yeah, I mean, so my brain first went to, sadly, that he refueled his car,
Right.
And then I was
Sure.
like, that doesn't even make any logical sense,
Because
right?
he's already
You can't,
left
like,
it. Right.
And he's at someone's
First of all,
house.
he's left it. Two, like no one in Palm Beach has a gas can.
That's
I can
right.
tell you that.
That's right.
Nobody.
No
West
problem.
Palm Beach has plenty.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go. I feel like it has to be a liquid as opposed to like SpaghettiOs or like a canned good.
Yeah.
You know,
SpaghettiOs.
although that would be so much better if he like stopped for the can opener. But so I'm gonna guess it's gonna be some like Gatorade or Red Bull, like some kind of pick me up.
Ooh,
Okay.
okay.
Jay, what do you think?
I was like a gallon of Sunny D.
Okay. Okay. Sunny
Delight.
D. You
It's
say
not
red-
orange juice, but it resembles
Okay.
it.
I'm gonna say coffee. He needs that caffeine boost.
Yeah.
Kind of like
Let's keep
it's
going.
kind of like Red Bull, but in a different
But
direction.
see, now I'm now thinking it's alcohol.
Ooh.
Oh, that's a good. Now I want to change my vote. I think that's a good call.
So what do you think it is, Brad?
Bottle of
You can
vodka?
choose.
You know what?
Blanton's?
I'm gonna stick with mine, but because I don't want to step on Jay's amazingness. But like, I do think that refuel is the perfect word for. We don't want to tell you what it is.
Right. So I'm gonna say Sunny D and vodka.
Okay. Fine.
There
So
you
a
go.
combo,
Like
like
four-man
Yeah, that's good.
screwdriver.
Stick with your thing.
It's like a
Yeah,
Phillips
a gas station screwdriver.
a Phillips
head
a
screwdriver.
Phillips head
Yeah,
screwdriver.
there you go. Okay, he went into the home. But this is going to get a little West Palm Beach for you because the owner of the home said that she later found 3 empty Capri Suns.
I was close.
I know you
So
guys.
close.
You're in the wheelhouse.
Capri Sun is the Sunny D of fruit
Children's drinks.
Of
Children's drinks.
of single serving
Of
drinks.
soccer team snacks.
What my favorite moment in imagining that, by the way, is him trying to fight with the straw on the pouch.
Yeah.
You're right.
Trying to put it.
Stabbing it down.
That
trying to
shows
get
you
it
the
down.
lead that he had on the cops. That if he could stop and get the straw in multiple Capri Suns,
3 Capri Suns.
yeah.
By the way, I
then
love
he's
that
got time.
He had one and
He's
he
just
went
showing
back.
off.
He went back for more.
That's showboating.
That's showboating. That's high stepping at your own 20. You know what I
I've
mean?
also almost murdered members of my own family when they can't open their own juice box. So I appreciate that at the height of that anxiety,
He
that he
was
pulled that
able
off.
to.
He
with
took on a
precision.
challenge.
You know what that is? That's new shirt confidence.
He had the new shirt on, and
Yeah.
It's like I can do anything.
He's like, in the old shirt, I would have never been able to do this.
Never.
No way. That's why he took the shirt, is for the confidence. He had
right.
it. He needed it.
That's right.
So they found 3 empty Capri Suns, a sweaty shirt scattered between her bedroom and back porch. That's an interesting transition spot, according to the report. So he got rid of the sweaty to put on the nice new. She also found a bag of her stolen items that were later found in a barbecue at the home on Empire Way where the authorities originally attempted to arrest him, which means he took things from her house
Then went back.
and all the way back to the original place that
Yeah,
no
'cause that's what
cop
it-
decided to stay and see if he was going to come back at.
Threw it in the barbecue grill.
Threw it
It's
in the
like, I'll
barbecue
come back
grill.
and they're not going to barbecue.
No one's going to look for that.
Are they
No
really
one's
going to
gonna look
barbecue
for
right
that.
now?
I also think you have to. He hid the stuff in the barbecue.
Yeah.
But he threw away the shirt, which makes me think he ran past the mirror and the thieving of the shirt was like he didn't like how he looked.
Yeah.
Yes.
Everything else was taken to hide, but that he was like, no,
I can't.
I don't
I'm
like
not
it.
going with my skin color
Dress
today.
for the crime you're committing, not the car
crime.
you were working on.
That's right. There you go. You're pretending to work on it.
Yes. So if we follow along here, that means he ran like 3 blocks east or west, and then went like less than a mile north. Then came all the way back to where he was, quote unquote, working on the car and hid the bag of stuff
That's
in
right.
in the
barbecue grill.
I admire the sense of the human compass right there, that he could find his way back.
Pretty good.
Oh, yeah, he's like a
Pretty good.
Labrador. One man told deputies that Howard walked into his home with a bag of jewelry, asking to use his phone and for some water. He is parched, guys.
Jeez, he's running, Dan.
The man refused, and Howard ran, leaving behind some of the jewelry. I hope that he had gotten himself into some sort of bartering system, and he was willing to try and trade jewelry to this man for water.
Yeah.
Yeah, or the phone.
I'm personally
not
disappointed
narking.
though. I'm disappointed though that he didn't ask the man for a Capri Sun.
I know. Stick with what you know, buddy.
Stay with the drink that brought you.
That's right.
Dance with the girl you brung.
So that he leaves there, he leaves jewelry there. After that, a conversation too, I just imagine. What do you need? Water and your phone? No, get out of here. You want some jewelry? You can leave it, but if you get caught, I'm saying that I didn't have anything to do with this. It's like a Florida version of that scene in Pulp Fiction. Like the spider has caught another spider.
That's right.
So good.
So true.
After 2.5 hours, 20 deputies, 5 Green Acres police officers, 4 Palm Beach Sheriff's officers, K9s, and the sheriff's helicopter. I feel like I'm singing a Christmas song. Authorities were able to locate Howard just blocks away from where they started, which means he left there again, too.
I don't have confidence in the Palm Beach Police Department. Do you?
They got
I don't have confidence in any police department that names themselves Green Acres.
Yeah,
There you go.
There you
Yes, I agree with that.
Because New York is where they'd rather stay.
As authorities closed in, residents told officers the man ran through their yards. This is a banner day in this neighborhood.
It's Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
He's running.
That's all I see,
That's
by the way. That's
right.
all I see is Ferris
Jumping
Bueller
over the
being done by
girls,
Spider-Man.
jumping over the girls,
music,
then
and
walking
then
back and being like, "How you doing, Ferris
Ferris
Bueller?"
Bueller, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
The 6-foot, 225-pound man ignored deputies' request to stop, yelling "F you" before he eventually ended up on the ground and out of breath. That does not mean they tackled him.
No,
he
means-
just laid down.
He's like, "All right,
No, he's doing that.
Give me a minute. Just give me a minute. Puts up the single finger. Give me a minute.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of that. Guys, you didn't hear me say timeout? I said it 2 houses ago. Okay.
Give me a sec.
So he lays down on the ground, out of breath.
I need to refuel.
Howard faces multiple charges of burglary, assault on an officer, fleeing and eluding, damaging property, and possession of drug equipment, among other charges. I love when it gets upgraded from paraphernalia. All right. I'm going to ask you guys. He left behind a trail of jewels and juice boxes. A Green Acres man. This is the last fun thing. This is how they sum it up at the end. I want to read this first. Leaving behind a trail of jewels and juice boxes, a Green Acres man who led Palm Beach County Sheriff's deputies on a 2-hour chase while he burglarized home. He had one request as they put him into handcuffs. He said, quote, "I need some water because I'm extremely thirsty from recently smoking crack," according to the report.
Rolling down the street, smoking in,
Running down the street.
sipping on jewels and juice.
So that the Capri Suns didn't quench it for him. I'm going to ask you guys before we get out of story number 1. How old do you think Donald Howard is? Review what you know about him.
6'3", 250.
Likes
or
to
225.
Likes
Ran for 2 hours.
Yeah.
2
Yes.
hours of running.
works,
That's
pretends
the
to
crack.
work on
That's the
cars.
crack, Brad.
Loves a Capri Sun, but is happy for some water. Really got in a lot of cardio. Knew when he was done.
Yep.
He was like, "I'm just gonna lay
This
down
is my-
here for a minute."
This is my cool down.
You are our guest. You can go first, Tigger third. Where do you want to go?
I want to say, you know what? I'm going to just say what I want to say.
Okay, go first.
I want him to be 15.
Right?
I'm just going the opposite.
A 15-year-old Donald
I
Howard.
want the Capri Sun to be, I want him to be
Age
in the core
appropriate.
demographic.
That's
Well,
right.
So if it's jewels like the vaping jewels, then
Maybe
jewels
it's
and
that
Capri Suns, that is a 15-year-old.
That is a 15-year-old. Jay, what do you think?
This guy is 39 years old.
39 years old from Jason
This
Sklar.
guy's 26.
26 years old. from
26.
No,
Six.
Rand, go high. Go way high. Go way high now.
All right, he's 52.
52.
I say
from
52.
Randy Sklar. Okay, 52 from Randy. What did you say?
39.
39. And Brad, you had 15.
I'm taking 15.
Okay.
This is the widest range of ages we've ever had.
We will,
Ever.
we will close out on this because Donald Howard is 43 years old.
Oh, right. I was right. Jay, you were right.
39.
I was
nice.
close.
You said go old, and I went old. That's amazing. All right, first story down in the books. Brad Meltzer's with us. When we come back on the other side of the break, we're going to talk about his phenomenal book. I'm so excited about
His latest book.
Latest book. This is Dumb People Town. Stay with us.
Stick around, make a sound for more Dumb People Town.
Hey, Townies, it's me, Daniel Van Kirk, and I wanted to talk to you really quick about Brooklinen. Why? Because you deserve great sheets, and Brooklinen is where to get them. I have Brooklinen sheets. I ordered the like this blue kind, like a blue color. They are perfect. Like, feeling good when you're going to sleep is the best thing you can hope for, and feeling amazing when you're going to sleep is what you get from Brooklinen. You spend over half of your life in your sheets. Don't you want them to be insanely comfortable? I do. That's why they have over 50,000 5+ star reviews and counting. Brooklinen is also having their biggest sale right now. It's the birthday sale. You can get everything from bedding to towels to loungewear and more at savings you would not believe. Also, maybe you're working from home, so staying comfortable is the best way to stay productive, and Brooklinen is here for every part of your daily routine. Get that loungewear so that when you crawl out of bed and you want to do some work out of the house, you still feel great. And at the end of your day, when you crawl back into bed, you feel great again because you're laying in Brooklinen sheets. They're so great, and I think that you will really dig them. They're the perfect place to find all the comforts for home. And they're so confident that all their sheets, comforters, loungewear, and towels come with a lifetime warranty. And this is their biggest event of the year. It is the birthday sale. It's happening. You don't want to miss it. Get incredible savings on sheets, bedding, towels, loungewear, and their newest hammam and linen collections. And if you're listening after the birthday sale ends, you can still get 10% off of your first order and free shipping on all the new sheets when you use the promo code DPT only at brooklinen.com. That's BROOKLINEN.com. brooklinen.com. Trust me, you will love this. Brooklinen, everything you need to live your most comfortable life.
Hi, Townies. My name is Jared Logan, and I'm the Game Master of Stream of Blood, where I play tabletop role-playing games with famous actors, writers, and comedians, and we stream it out every Wednesday and Sunday live on Twitch and Facebook. Quarantine sucks, but the bright side is that we've got famous, funny, and or brilliant people playing your favorite fantasy, sci-fi, and horror role-playing games and streaming them out to you twice a week. What could be better than that? Quarantine ending would that would be better, sure, but it does suck. But speaking of sucking, you can catch our Vampire the Masquerade Chronicle Vampires of Pittsburgh live every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Pacific, and our Call of Cthulhu campaign, The Neptune Society, every Sunday at 1:30 p.m. Pacific. Some of our players include Ashley Birch from Mythic Quest Raven's Banquet, Robert Buckley from iZombie, Ross Bryant from the Improvised Shakespeare Company, Thomas Middleditch from his new Netflix special Middleditch and Schwartz, Iffy and Wadaway, Guy Branum, Humphrey Carr, Jackie Cation, John Roy, Mike Drucker, Adam Conover, Becca Scott, and more. Follow us on all the socials at Stream of Blood, and we'll see you in the comments.
Hey guys, welcome back to DPT. Before we get into Meltzer's awesome book, I want to remind people Dan Van Kirk has a daily podcast called The Good Night Show. Yeah. You should get on board with that. It is the first thing I listen to in the morning.
I love it so much.
A lot of people listen to it to put themselves to sleep at night in the way that it is the most comforting.
So calming.
It is so calm.
And funny
it's
and
chill,
fun.
Right?
It's super
like,
chill.
Oh, I didn't know that's what was going on this week. Like it's just meant to give you a break.
Brad, you will love this.
It is very chill. And then Randy and I have a daily podcast that we've started that's been growing, and I'm really proud of it. It's called Scarborough Country, the Virus Edition, a.k.a. the Pandy Pods, a.k.a. Two Guys, One Couch, a.k.a. Two Jews, No Harmon Killabers,
a.k.a. Two Wolverines, one quarantine,
a.k.a. Two Sklars, No Bars. All right, so
how about this one, a.k.a. Clean Faces at a Steady Paces.
There we go. And the other thing is we have sort of erected and created a YouTube page called Scarborough Country, upon which Brad Meltzer's son, who is amazing, Jonas, who is going to Michigan next year, has been sitting around and watching episodes. He is being introduced to cheap seats on our YouTube page. Just speak about that briefly, and then we'll get into your book.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say not introduced, obsessed.
That's great.
Literally, he is consuming them like he's just like on Breaking Bad in the height of it. He
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
I come down, and the great thing is I watched with him today when I came down for lunch. He literally was watching Sheep Seats Evil Knievel episode, which is there's no better episode for me.
The best.
That's my core demographic.
That's
it's
right.
Perfect.
You remember it.
And I was jealous of you having the jumpsuit. And I come down, and what's so great is you made like a Mindy Cohn reference,
Yeah.
which was perfect for Facts of Life in it.
Yeah.
And Jonas is laughing. He has no
No
idea
idea who
what
Mindy
Facts
Cohn
of
is.
Life or Mindy Cohn is, but he knows it's funny. He knows it's like, someone saying Benny Goodman when we were young. Like he
That's
just
right.
knows it's right.
That's right.
And so he is obsessed with it. 18-year-olds, if you have a young son in high school or it is perfect. It is pitch perfect. It is aged in no way, except
Especially-
and you guys are clean shaven, so you've come full circle.
We've come full
Yeah,
circle.
you
We're
really
come
have.
back. We're
And
back.
because, like, with no like sports or anything happening right now, like, what a great way to see like some hilarious competitive people, and then have you guys with such great jokes and bits and characters.
It's a blast.
The other
So-
thing that he really loves is he is not only watching it, but on the bottom, because it was on ESPN.
all the scores. The
all
scores.
the scores are there. So he's literally watching the scores. He's like, the Heat are going to beat. This is the year they win the championship. He's like, this is the, and I
2006,
see him
that's
rooting.
right.
He's literally rooting 2006. For the
Oh
Heat.
my God.
And he loves it. He loves everything about it. It's
Dude.
the only new sports intake he's getting right now.
It's great. So again, it's YouTube, Scarborough Country. Subscribe to the page. It's growing in subscriptions, which is great, and we just want to have as many people watching as possible. But let's talk about your book, which is out today. So people who are listening to this
day it
know
drops.
that the day this thing drops.
May.
We got your next quarantine book right here.
Here it is, right here. Meltz, explain it. It sounds so amazing when you were talking to us before the show.
Yeah, so it's basically it's called the Lincoln Conspiracy, and everyone knows the story of John Wilkes Booth when they kills Abraham Lincoln. This is not that story. This is the story of the first secret plot to kill Abraham Lincoln. And what happens at the time is there's a secret society that plots to murder him. To get to when he's elected in 1860, he has to go to Washington, D.C. from Illinois. The only way you get there is by train. And the train must go through, no matter how you take it, you got to go through Baltimore. And Baltimore, Maryland at the time was a slave state. So the plan is a secret society is going to murder him in the middle of the night. They're going to kill Abraham Lincoln at the start of his career. And I won't ruin it, but I'll tell you the prologue opens up. You're on a speeding train. There's two men. There's an invalid guy with his sister. None of them are who they say they are. Is actually Alan Pinkerton, the world's first private detective in America. There's Kate Warren, the world's first female private eye. And the invalid is a man named Abraham Lincoln, who is, of course, no invalid. And they are all in disguise, all using secret code names. And they are saving Abraham Lincoln's life from this secret society that's set to kill him. And that's chapter 1. And it just rolls from there. You get
dude.
to see Abraham Lincoln and everything.
This sounds so fascinating, and I'll say this about every single one of Meltzer's books. If you've never read a Meltzer book, to me, reading books by Brad Meltzer is like binging a show on Netflix, and a really good show that's on Netflix, because at the end of the episode, there is always something compelling that says, I got to watch this next one. That is the end of every Meltzer chapter is like, oh my God, I cannot stop. You're the worst thing to read at night because it's the best thing to read at night, and then it's the worst thing because you're like, I'm just going to read a chapter before I go to bed, and the next thing you know, I'm like
12 chapters in.
100 pages because I can't stop because I literally cannot go to sleep not knowing what's happening next.
But we're stuck in our houses. We have whole weekends where we're sitting there going, what do I do? You've watched all the crap you want to watch. I'm saying right now, go get the Lincoln Conspiracy. You will thank us for it. And then you'll dive back in if you haven't been through the whole
all of
Meltzer
Meltzer's
catalog.
books.
They're
I'm
great.
sure
And
this.
plus, you got Mother's Day and Father's Day coming. So that alone, you can get to read it and then give it away.
Oh, dude,
for
it is a Meltzer book. You do secret societies better than anybody because it's,
By the way, this secret society is the craziest secret society because it's led by a Civil War barber, which
my
has the
God.
best mustache, of course, we
I'm sure.
guarantee.
I'm sure.
And then what he does is he's like in this fancy hotel. You go in the basement of the hotel. They have secret code words, which you'll see. And you give the right code word to this barber, he'll tell you about his secret plot to kill Abraham Lincoln. And you're just like, you can't wait to watch this racist, stupid moron be taken down, and it's just
can't wait to read
amazing
it.
to watch it all fall apart.
I think you should because of the amount of research you do for every book, and it's amazing because we've been with you as you've sort of gone through the process of research. Your research is so extensive. You could probably do a documentary about this barber, like do a whole hour-long documentary about this dude and the society and what it is, because you do so much. And it's amazing how you'll do all this research and then it comes out in just like the coat that the guy's wearing. You know what I mean?
And then the thing that's really fun, listen, it's also a time where America's deeply divided.
Mm-hmm.
We hate each other. Half the country thinks the other half is a bunch of total utter morons, and we despise it. Like, does it sound familiar to you?
Yeah.
So,
Oh my God.
this we all know
relevant.
Abraham Lincoln at the end of his presidency, but this is him as he's starting, and he's scared and he's nervous. He loses the inaugural address.
Oh.
He goes to visit his dead father's grave before he leaves for Washington, D.C. to be sworn in. And when they tell him he's won, you'll appreciate he is playing literally handball on the back of the building when they tell him he's won. And you get to see Abraham Lincoln be a person. He's an actual human being who's scared and he's convinced for sure. You will see the dream sequence in there that he has, that he's going to die while he's in office. And he's absolutely right.
Oh my God. All right.
He
Lincoln
actually calls the shot early. It's amazing.
In the same way that Lin-Manuel Miranda so beautifully brought history and made it relevant and made it palatable for today, in the way that you're placed in that moment and you feel like in a context that you
That's
can
what a
understand
Meltzer book will do to you.
This
All right,
is it.
The Lincoln Conspiracy. We'll mention it again at the end. Get it? Let's jump into another story while we've got you here,
Let's
okay?
do it. All right, we're bringing it up right now. Okay, here we go. This is a story of somebody who should have never been in this situation to begin with, and then how they reacted and what we all think of this. It was sent in by Lenny at mleonard8.
Okay.
All right.
Leonard Part 8.
Comes from CNN.com. That first story we got was from the Palm Beach Post. All right. A surprise company outing already. Surprise, we're going on a company outing. I'm good. To an air base caused a 64-year-old French man so much stress that he flung himself from a fighter jet in midair.
Now, we covered this story. We talked about, but I'm excited to do it and just see what happens. We talked about this story on our daily podcast. This is insane. There's so many things.
Is it bad that I'm already disappointed that he's French and not Floridian?
Right. Well, maybe he's from the Florida part of France, which I don't even know what that would be, but
the sunny part.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, or the French part of Florida. He caused him so much stress, he flung himself from a fighter jet in midair, grabbing the ejector button in a panic and tumbling through the skies above France before landing in a field.
You should not be able to grab the ejector button that easily. Right?
First of all, why can you grab an ejector button?
Yeah, no, I'm assuming that it was down by his hand. Yeah.
There's got to be a thing you have to flip over.
I think
and then
you have to push it. You don't grab it.
No, he's like, I'm just going to put some more air on right here. Oh my God!
He's yelling. You assume he's yelling to the pilot, and the guy was probably grab that red button and hold on to it.
No, not that red button.
Yeah.
Oh God! It just that to me is poor. It's poor.
You
design.
grab the orange button. You grab the reddish.
Do you think there's
orange
five
button.
colored buttons right there, and he's just colorblind? That's what the story.
You need to cover that before
grab
you put
the periwinkle button. No, not the light blue.
What's mauve?
The powder blue. Powder blue.
The man had been surprised by employees at his firm who had organized a joyride in a Dassault Rafale B jet for him as a treat.
Why would you do that?
Why would you do this without clearing it with someone that they want to do this?
I'm going to go. You're crazy. Why would you not do that?
I know.
I would do it. But what do you used to be like? Well, what are we doing today? Surprise with who? The company. I'm already out. There's 2 red flags.
That's right.
And then they're like, where are we going? To an air base? What for? You're going to get in a fighter jet? Now, I personally would say yes.
I would never say yes. Dan, I would never say yes.
You wouldn't ride with the Blue Angels.
No.
I want
no desire.
Brad, would you?
Way.
I'd throw up all over the place.
I want to do that. I actually go. So I entertain with the USO around the world, and they used to. We've been to Qatar, been all these places in Kuwait, and they used to take all the authors up in fighter jets, and so many authors. Because I will tell you that when I went the first time, the 2 teams that came before us were the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders,
Yep.
then the MMA fighters,
Yeah.
and then the literacy authors. And my friend was like, "Can you tape the audible sigh when you walk in the room,
Yeah.
so that we know that it's you?" But the authors were throwing up so much on the fighter jets that they stopped bringing us on.
I'm telling you, I would yak all over the place. There's no way I would do that.
Well, Brad, have you seen, and Dan, have you seen those videos? Okay, in Atlanta, Georgia, there's this gigantic slingshot that like it's almost like a bungee.
My daughter went on that.
Stop.
She went on it.
Stop.
She went on it. She said it was the scariest thing she ever went on.
So there are videos, okay? There are so many videos from GoPros of people passing out while they're in the air. So like
Why?
because they're afraid, and the thing because they're just it's crazy.
Is
So
it shooting you into the ocean?
no, it
It
shoots
is crazy. It shoots you
over-
straight up like a slingshot.
like a slingshot, and it shoots you over the park, and people just lose their brains. So like
Where do you land?
big burly, it just goes back and
Oh,
forth.
okay. I thought it
Yeah,
literally.
you stay attached to the
You're
slingshot.
attached
You
to
don't
the
leave
thing,
it.
but you're
Okay.
on this
Yeah.
thing, and they just pull it back, and you fling for. It's like a bungee cord, but like flinging straight out. And dudes who get on, they're like, "Yeah, this is gonna be easy," and like they're like, "Ah!" and then they pass out, and then they wake up when they're there, and they're still going. They're like, "Ah!" and they pass out again. It's
Is it because they're pulling too many G's?
you have to see the videos.
But let me
of
tell you
people doing
something.
this.
If you did do that, you would not say, "You know what? I need to now hit the ejector button."
no, right. Because
No.
that's not thinking about what's going to happen.
here's
next.
the thing. There is really only one person, one 64-year-old man who something like this is good for, and that's Tom Cruise.
Yeah. Tom
he
Cruise
can
is
crush it.
He's the only guy that could eject from a fighter jet going at like what is it 2,500 square feet?
Isn't that
Or
crazy
feet
that
up?
he'd like climbed on the outside of that plane for his...
Listen, I saw. You see him when he has James Corden. By the way, I need to add this part.
Sure.
My nephew, who's really young, he's 4 years old. He actually calls James Harden James Corden, and we do not correct him anymore.
not.
We just
Don't
go with
you
it.
dare.
So I need to tell this story and make it the way you want. But James Corden, when Tom Cruise jumped out of the plane with him, you can see what real fear looks like, and you see Tom Cruise has no fear. He does
None.
not care at
He's
all.
like, well, because he's dead inside. You know, Scientology is basically taken the soul out of him. So
I
you
mean,
can,
the most recent Mission Impossible, the scenes and stuff they do in that are insane. And
Well,
we
where he
can see
climbs
the-
on the outside of that plane?
No, that's the
where
one
did he
before.
break his
That's
ankle?
the one before.
This one, the
That's
most
the one
recent
before.
one
The
is the one where he
motorcycle
broke.
one is the crazy one.
Yeah, the most recent one is the motorcycle, and then also the one
he
where
jumps
he
to
breaks
the building
his
and
ankle.
breaks-
Yes, you can see the shots in there where he smashes his ankle into the wall, and then they created new technology to do the follow shot of him walking out the back of this plane. They created a new mask because they wanted to be able to see his face so that everybody knows him and Chris Evans really did this.
Oh my God.
Or
It's-
not Chris Evans, the guy who plays Superman. I can't remember his name right
Yeah,
now.
Christopher
Henry Cavill.
Reeves?
Hey, yes, Henry Cavill.
Christopher Reeves?
Yeah, no,
sorry.
different
Stop.
one.
Sorry.
Yeah, you're going to hell for that one. You're going to pay for that.
Excuse me, I just got to hit the ejector button.
Right.
this
Jason,
part.
you were saying you're going to go up there and throw up. If you told me, like, hey, there's so many times in your life you're going to throw up into a toilet. This time you're going to throw up, but you're going to do it in a jet. I'd be
Nope.
like, awesome. I'm
no,
going to throw up
but
anyway.
no,
Might
thank
as well
you.
do it in a
No,
jet.
Brad, no, thank you.
Brad will do it, too.
No, Brad.
I just still like that. I respect the guy who said, "I got an idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the guy in
Idea.
the work group.
We have access to the jet.
Yeah.
we got to go."
This is how we're
He's
doing
going to
it.
love it. Well, was he in the army? Has he
Nope.
ever mentioned that he liked jets?
Nope.
So
Nope.
let's do it.
It's what they say here. They apparently, the people at the company didn't know their colleague as well as they thought. Once the man arrived at Saint Dizier Air Base in northeastern France in March 2019,
What are we doing here, guys?
and realized what his coworkers had arranged, he began to feel extremely stressed, according to a fairly remarkable aviation accident report by the French government agency.
So don't go.
The unnamed man had never expressed any desire to fly in a fighter jet and had no previous military aviation experience.
Don't go.
investigators
This
discovered.
is the worst Secret Santa ever.
Ever.
To me, he obviously doesn't want to go, right?
He doesn't wanna go.
But unlike me, he doesn't know his limits.
When Dan got into the little egg in the
St.
arch.
Louis Arch. Have you ever been to the top of the arch, Brad?
I have been to the top of
Okay,
the arch.
so Dan got into the little egg elevator. He sat down, and there were like there were four of us. It was
Yep.
me and Jason, our buddy Scott Rogowski, Rags, and Dan. And Dan got in, and he sat down, and he looked at it, and he looked around, and he's like, "Nope."
And I got up, and they were like,
you know
"Dan,
your limits.
Yes,
See, I can
that's
tell you that when
exactly
I
what
was
I
in high
said.
school, when I was in high school, we had the idea to take Howie Robinson's car to the Aventura Mall to do 360s and donuts in the parking lot at 3 a.m. Now, I had never done a donut or a 360 before, but I was like, I would like to. However, if you said, now we're going to change that Cordia that he was driving into a fighter jet, I would say, I know my limits.
There you go. I can't do it.
I'd be
I
like,
looked at these guys and I said, I know my limits.
And he
Now,
got off.
If it was a job or some show we were shooting and I had to write, I could write it. I'll fight off the panic and I won't enjoy it, but it won't ruin anything and no one will worry about me and I'll be fine. But I didn't need to do any of that, so I knew my limits.
Dan made the call and said, I'm getting off. This guy could have said it along the way. Hey,
64 years old.
You guys are great.
Yeah.
I really appreciate
He's not new
this.
at this. And he's not new at this. He knows what he's
Let's
lived a
go
long
to
life.
French Fuddruckers and have some fun and just forget about
I mean,
this.
maybe he's 64 and he's like, hey, I'm lucky to be at any office.
Sure.
I'm 64.
I was actually thinking that he's probably worried about feeling like the old guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably motivating
Well,
that
thanks to
behavior.
the watch he was wearing, they could measure his heart rate. Investigators noticed that his heart was in full tachycardia before the flight, with a recorded heart rate ranging from 136 to 142 beats per minute.
Okay, I'm going to do my heart rate right now, just sitting here, just so you can get
Wait. Can I just tell you, in law school, my two best friends, one was an Orthodox Jew.
Yeah.
The other one was a Mormon. And we used to have races where we'd time each other's heart rates, and then we'd see who had the lowest. And I guarantee you that mine, just like yours, Randy and Jason, is going to be like this guy in France. But the Mormon always had like 40 beats a minute.
Really? It's just
He was
chill?
like, he was calm as could be. And this is just in a law school class, not a fighter jet.
What do you got? Like, what do you
because he had so many wives to deal with all the problems.
That's right.
There you go.
You can pawn all the problems off on all the other wives.
Where are you at?
I'm at 73, which is actually a lot. The other night I was like at
You're at 74 now.
I was at 51.
Wow, you getting stressed?
Really?
Where are you at, Jay?
Well, the man went through the ride, joining a 3-plane training exercise as a passenger. The Rafale B is used by the French Air Force and has a maximum speed of 870 miles per hour.
So he's going like 900 miles
That's
an
a
hour.
clip. That's a clip.
That's fast.
When the jet was 2,500 feet above the ground and the pilot began to climb, the passenger panicked and reached for something to hold on to. Might want to look where you're going.
Okay, but the ejector button shouldn't be that close to something to
I
hold on
agree.
to.
You should not be able to grab that.
I'm at 86.
You should be able to reach it, but not grab it. Like it's not within grabbing
Yes,
reach.
it should not be the thing you grab in a moment of panic.
Exactly.
Of course not.
I'm at 88 beats per minute.
Ooh, you're up there.
Jesus.
Unfortunately,
You're going to die.
that
might.
something he grabbed was the ejector seat button, and the 64-year-old flew from the flight. Imagine the pilot being like, "What the hell are you doing back there?"
Also,
That's like
I
yelling at
actually
a kid.
I imagine him because he's like, I've got something, I'm calm, and then he ejects. The
Oh,
exact
God.
worst thing he could do.
Oh yeah, for
And
sure.
yeah, he thinks, all right, thank God I found something to hold on to.
Yeah, what does he think? He grabbed the handbrake?
Right.
This will slow it down.
I will turn this plane around if
Can
you don't
you
stop messing
imagine
around
what his
back
heart was doing when he flew out of that plane?
He said to
Oh,
make
that would be
matters worse,
awesome.
he had not securely attached his helmet, which went flying through the air.
Dummy.
I'm going to ask you guys an honest to
Dummy.
God question. It's a little gross, but we'll never know the answer. Did he shit himself?
Of course.
A little bit.
100%.
100%.
A little bit.
I don't even if he was too afraid not to, I don't think he has enough training to control his bowels.
You can't
through those-
control, because Dan, you don't know that a parachute's going to open.
You don't know anything.
You don't know anything. You just know that you've now
were sitting
left
there.
the flying
Yeah,
thing.
because if you didn't know where the eject button was, you don't know if you have a parachute on.
You have two, so you have two feelings right now.
One, I'm going to die, and two, I'm going to die.
That's it. That's all you're
And
feeling.
you know what? I don't even think you're going, my helmet feels a little loose.
No,
Right. No. Everything feels
then-
loose. Your bowels, all of it.
it's gone.
Also,
Jesus.
do you think this guy, when this is over with, how does he go back to the office?
So that's what I was going to say. Like,
Because you know those things where they have like a special lunch at somebody's birthday, maybe a couple people have a cocktail, you ate more than you wanted to at the Cheesecake Factory, and then they're like, all right, let's go back to the office, and you look and it's 2:47, and you're like, really going to go back for an hour and a half, 2 hours?
Yeah.
I'm not, like, I would love it at the end of this. They're like, all right, guys, let's all go back
let's
to work.
head back to work. They had
See, but
back-
I also think about, it seems to me in the setup of this entire premise that they were sneaking this fighter jet away. It's like they have access to it and then they steal it away. And so
Yeah.
no one's, you want to return the car.
Yes.
Again, go back, let's bring it back to Ferris Bueller.
yeah.
You got to return the car pristine.
To walk
and it's
around
missing
it.
a seat.
That's missing a seat. It's missing. And by the way, how about the guy, the pilot who's flying it, and all of a sudden this guy ejects and the top is open and flapping around? Like he now has to land a plane without the extra weight in the back.
Convertible.
That's
He
right.
has to put the brick on the gas and make Cameron make sure it doesn't kick it out the window.
That's right.
Like,
Just
it's
go
a disaster.
backwards. Oh my
Such
god.
a great scene.
Great
by the way.
scene.
That scene is so good.
I bet, and do you feel this way? I bet just now knowing about auditions and stuff, I bet that was the scene that Alan Ruck had to he had to read for.
That is also the scene that when you're a kid, you just care about the crash. And I watched it recently with my kids.
Yeah.
That scene that Alan Ruck is pulling off there is so emotional at
It's
such
so
a high
good.
level,
I
and
know.
nothing I appreciated. It is the answer to life is in that scene.
Totally.
And we just were like, cool crash when I was 13.
That's
but
right.
It is so good.
And what's his name's restraint? Matthew Broderick's restraint in just like letting him have the moment. So he's backing off and they switch roles essentially, like a little bit. He's like, we'll just flip it back. I thought this might happen. We'll flip it back. And he's just like, no, this is good.
Yeah,
And-
I'm the one with the devil may care.
And by the way,
attitude
you
now.
know who lives near that house and who just sent me a picture of it because he saw our holiday card, which was Ferris Bueller themed this year?
Yep.
Marlon Stone.
No
He does?
way.
Marlon Stone lives by the real house. in Chicago.
Marlon Stone is a dumb people town story. Do you remember
Mar-
any? Do you remember Marlon Stone stories?
Marlon Stone
Well,
got
hold on.
First of all, I remember Marlon Stone, me and you jumping into that University of Wisconsin classroom. That was Marlon Stone.
So here's what we're gonna do for the third for the final story is we're gonna trade Marlon Stone stories and Dan's gonna listen to them.
I'm
All
down
right,
for
that's
it.
gonna be our
we
third
should,
segment.
here's what we should do. We should trade our own dumb people down. We should we've never told the story of the governor of West Virginia and the head of the
we'll tell
football
that.
team. We should
Sure,
tell that story.
sure, we will. But we got to put Marlon Stone up in a context.
Oh,
for
he'll be
people.
good. We love him.
So I'll wrap this up. Fortunately, the man avoided serious injury after parachuting to Earth in a field near the German border. I don't know if that's how far.
As a
who
Jew,
knows
that
how
would be
far.
scary.
By the way,
scares me
so
even
much
more.
better if this is a World War II story.
That's right.
So much better.
Also, on our podcast, my question is it the actual border of Germany
Or a
just
German
a
guy
German
who's-
border? A
who's-
guy who's been staying at your house who's from Germany.
German border.
He's my German border.
Comes down over here.
He's flying down.
Investigators concluded the error was caused by an involuntary reflex. No, prompted by stress and
Very
the jet's sudden
voluntary.
movement. Don't put it on the. What a
Yeah,
way to
this
blame the
isn't the
victim. The jet's
jet's-
the one that lost its top, and you're like, that's on you.
A good workman does not blame his tools.
The pilot was not ejected and managed to land the plane safely despite suffering some minor facial injuries during the ordeal. The
All right,
passenger, meanwhile,
who's gonna pay for that?
the passenger, meanwhile, was taken to a nearby hospital.
Genie in accounting. It was your idea.
Yeah.
You now have to pay for his
Actually, how
minor
great would
injuries.
it be is if the ejector button ejected the pilot?
Yeah. And then this guy's left.
And then what?
Land it.
Landed.
All right, that's story number 2.
Wow, that's a crazy story. Brad Meltzer's with us. He's got a brand new book that is out today as this drops. It is fantastic. Lincoln Conspiracy. I am so excited to read it. You all, this is it. We're giving you your quarantine assignment right now. Go pick up this book and go read it. When we come back, we're going to trade Marlon Stone stories because he is, it's insane.
We'll trade a couple quick ones and then we'll tell the story of how we
No, don't even do it.
Okay, done. All right, there's just stories of our lives. Brad, Jason, and I tell some dumb stories on the other side of this break.
Stick around, make a sound. There's more Dumb People Town.
Hey Townies, Daniel Van Kirk here, and I want to talk to you about Quip. Why? Because 75% of us use old, worn-out bristles that are ineffective, and even more people forget to floss daily. Good health habits start with things like Quip, and they make it so easy. Right now, we're getting so many things delivered to our door. Well, guess what? They deliver all the oral care essentials you need to brush and floss better. The Quip electric toothbrush has a timed sonic vibration, so every 30 seconds you know to switch to another part of your teeth or section of your teeth. And it uses, the guide is used as a dentist recommended 2-minute routine. There's even a size down version for kids. And you pair that with Quip's Activity toothpaste, which is in mint or watermelon. You get all the ingredients for your teeth, the stuff you actually need, and none of the stuff that you don't. Quip also has an eco-friendly, reliable floss with a dispenser you keep for life and expanding string that helps clean between your teeth. So join over 3 million happy customers and practice good oral health care easily and affordably with Quip. starting at just $25. Guys, they deliver it right to you. Right now, you're looking for a new routine. You want to keep yourself healthy? Use Quip. You also maybe are staying in a lot, not going out. Quip delivers directly to your door. And if you go to getquip.com/DPT right now, you'll get your first refill free. That's your first refill free at getquip.com/DPT. I'm going to spell that out for you. It's getquip.com/DPT.
My partner Adam and I,
That's me.
tape our podcast Nobody Listens to Paula Poundstone in a little studio where we can only fit one instrument for a house band, although we once fit in a yak.
Oh, that yak.
It's a comedy advice show. Experts talk about things we all need to know. We had a mortician explain a better way to die.
An urban chicken farmer told us how to raise poultry in your backyard.
A casting agent coached me on how to get the role.
A constitutional expert explained the Bill of Rights.
Maybe we can get the White House to listen to that episode.
Also, an astronaut told us how to astronaut.
We have hand puppets, French trompe, and vocabulary words like nugatory.
To find out what nugatory means, listen to Nobody Listens to Paula Poundstone.
Hey guys, welcome back to the show. You can follow Brad Meltzer on Twitter at Brad Meltzer. Are you have an Instagram? You do Instagram, don't you?
Yeah, Instagram, Facebook, all of it. Same thing.
At Brad Meltzer. And
Follow him if you have little kids. He has a great
series of books
and cartoon on PBS. So let people know about that. You have so much stuff going on that we want to focus on the right things.
Yes, we have Xavier Riddle in the Secret Museum, which is on PBS, and it stars Xavier, his sister Edina, and their best friend Brad, the most handsome cartoon character of all time.
That's awesome.
But they have a problem, like they're being bullied, as an example. They go back in time and they meet Rosa Parks. Rosa Parks teaches them how to deal with bullies. They come to the present day, and your kid becomes a better child thanks to my creative mind.
And it's loosely based. Is it loosely based on the books that you wrote in terms of?
No. It truly is based on the Ordinary People Change the World books. It is Chris Eliopoulos and I created these cartoon biographies to help you give better heroes to your kids. And it's literally based, and our stories are in the book. Amelia Earhart, Abraham Lincoln, Rosa Parks, Albert Einstein.
Those books
your kids need better heroes today.
They do, and our kids loved those books. Like, you can tell which books your kids will gravitate towards. So check those out if you got little kids and you're looking for books to get them. It's just a great series of books that Brad Meltzer did. But we were in college together, and we would traverse the same. We were in the same fraternity. We spent a lot of time together. We did some crazy things together. We were in contact with, I would say Marlon Stone was probably the craziest guy that we knew. Right?
He was in your frat?
Well, Marlon was, and I love Marlon. I actually still see Marlon.
I love him.
Marlon was, you and I, we always, all three of us bonded because we had kind of different parents than everyone else had. Everyone else had these like wealthy suburban things. And we thought we kind of like, we were through the fight. Like, our dads were both sales guys and we had to sell for a living. But Marlon had he didn't have backup, So that idea of limits that is built into you, like I'm saving mine. I'm laughing right now. I just remembered a good one about him. So yes, keep going.
So my story that I remember about him wasn't even us with him.
I have two stories without him.
He got mad at the baseball coach.
He got into a feud with the baseball coach of his high school team.
So in the middle of the night, the day
night
before
the sectional tournament, which was to be played on their field,
he broke into the field and planted a tree on the pitcher's mound.
Shut up.
I don't even know if that's true. Here's my favorite one. My favorite one is that him, and I think it was him, and Marlon, I'm sorry if this isn't, but I think it was him, in a rental car during one of our trips, pulled the emergency brake on the highway to see what would happen. And I'm pretty sure it was him or someone else, and the transmission came out of the bottom of the car, which is spectacular.
The other one was that when he went to his high school, it's crazy now to think of it, but there was like a woman who drove the Zamboni machine at the high school thing. And she came from Large Marge, and everyone
he went to high five her, and he accidentally reached too far and
punched her
and hit her in the face, and I don't think it was on purpose, but and then the Zamboni started careening out of control.
And like he couldn't stop it because she's on the ice, and there was nothing he could do. So,
but the thing is, these stories would not be nearly as good if Marlon didn't have like the biggest heart, and you didn't fall in love with him.
You
that was the
loved him.
best part
He's
of him.
not a jerk.
So-
It's like all these things happened, but he was not a jerk.
So our trip to West Virginia. So we went on this when we were freshmen on a walkout trip. Like we're all going somewhere. So we drove to the University of West Virginia for reasons that I can't even like. I think one guy in our whole group knew someone who was there. That's it.
Skeeter.
So
Skeeter knew a girl.
So he knew a girl, and none of us knew. So we show up at West Virginia for a weekend. None of us have anywhere to stay.
Sure.
We don't have any. We don't know what to do. We end up crashing in like the lounge of a dorm. These guys let us. That was the nicest thing ever. They let like 15 dudes just like crash in this lounge of this dorm. And then it was I don't know why this. How we knew it was. Who were they playing?
Penn State was playing
So it was
West
Penn,
Virginia.
It was Penn State, Virginia was playing West Virginia. And we were sitting outside. There was a pep rally. And I came and said, if I can get us to sing the national anthem, will you guys come and sing the national anthem? And everyone was like, yeah, we'll sing the national anthem with you. You guys were like, we'll sing the national anthem. So I went over to the person who had a clipboard, who was like some, senior or junior girl. And I said to her, hi, we're here from the Penn State Choir, and we're here to sing the national anthem. And she looks down at her clipboard and she's like, oh my gosh, I don't have you down here. But you know what? You guys are going to sing, and then you'll introduce the governor. And I'm like, okay, I'll introduce the governor
of West Virginia.
So now this is how the Dumb People Town story starts. And we are the dumb people in this, to be clear.
We are,
so
by far.
I come racing back, and I'm like, guys, we're going to sing, and we're introducing the governor. Now, at that moment, none of our friends are willing to sing. No. Nobody's willing to sing.
Nope.
So I got maybe it was like Matt Capister was like, I'll sing, or whoever it was like, I'll sing. So we go, so there's like two people, and we go back. I'm like, here's the choir. Now, at some point, they find and realize that we are not the Penn State Choir.
No.
Right? They just look. They get a whiff of something that says we're not the Penn State Choir. So they say to me, listen, you know what? We're running late. We can't have you sing. And I said, listen, our alumni are going to be so upset because they all think we're singing. So can you just do me a favor? Can we at least get a picture with the governor?
Great.
And this woman says, you know what? That's a fair trade. So it's myself, it's Randy, it's Jason, and Joe Epstein.
Mm-hmm.
And Randy and Jason are taking the picture. I remember it was like on an old, like disposable camera, like one of those old crappy cameras.
Light.
Yeah.
And wait for the orange light. And they take the picture of me and Joe. And it's the governor of West Virginia and the coach of the West Virginia football team are in the picture.
Uh-huh.
And now Randy and Jason are going to go. And this is the dumb. Now, Dan, you have to answer this question. So, as I hand the camera to them, that they hand the camera to me, and I'm going to take their picture.
Yes.
What do Randy and Jason whisper to me in that moment?
Ooh, I don't know. What?
It's probably the best thing you could whisper in a picture that you're going to take. What would you do in a picture that would be the best thing to do?
With the
I'll give you
governor
30
of West
seconds. I'll
Virginia.
give you 2 seconds.
I don't know. What'd you guys say?
Brad.
This is what they whisper. They whisper into my ear as they lean in and hand me the camera. I'm going to give the governor the bunny ears.
So
now
it wasn't obscene. We weren't going to get arrested.
No.
Just-
But
it
you
was-
aren't.
So
taking
now
it
here's the thing. So
seriously.
now
it's
I
so
see. You have
subtle.
to see. It's like a slow motion moment. So I see them, and there's two
forgot
giant
about
men on
bunny
the
ears.
sides of the governor's bodyguards, and it's Randy, the governor of West Virginia, the West Virginia football coach,
Me.
and basically Jason's on the other side, and then another big bodyguard. And as I'm taking the picture, I can see slowly behind the governor's head, these two fingers rise up, two antennas rise up behind him. And just at that moment, the head giant security guard grabs his arm
and slaps it
and
down.
pulls it down, at which point I hit click. Now, because this is not 2020, we have to wait
2
for the
weeks.
film to be developed.
That's right.
Yeah.
And do you have that picture still or no?
I have the picture.
Send it to us.
And you can see it is not It is not full bunny ears, but there's
you can
no
see
question.
two
You
fingers
can see
up.
the two digits, like the first bones of your finger, are behind the governor
It
of West
was
Virginia.
so dumb. We were idiots to even try that. And
So
there's-
dumb, but so perfect. Dumb people town.
Take a picture of that picture and
I
send
will-
it
I
to
will
us,
find it.
and we'll post it on the Dumb People Town
Post on the
Facebook
Dumb People
page.
Town Facebook page. You can see that. What a great story.
I love that.
We survived.
Oh man, Brad
And
Meltzer.
Dan, you're going to be Dan. I know you're still thinking about what the line should be that you could whisper because I know you want that joke.
And I thought I sang Ethel Merman into the microphone. Didn't I sing "You'll be swell, you'll be great"?
I do.
Gonna have
Now
the
that you
whole
say that, I
world
do
on a
remember that. I
plate.
do remember that.
I did sing
And then
that.
wasn't there also like they had one of their tram cars and there was a
we had to jump inside it.
so there were how many people can you stuff inside a tram car competition? And this like sorority or fraternity did it, and then like 20 of us jumped in on top of it, like and added people to the thing so that we made some team win because we did more than what was their comfort level. It was a crazy
Which
weekend.
is basically just a death trap.
Yeah.
It was truly
It was
a death
hard
trap.
to get trampled. It was just stupid behavior.
It was, but we were like, we're invincible. We're on a college campus that we're never going to come back to ever again.
Who cares what's going to happen?
We're unknown. We're
And
ghosts.
listen, it doesn't matter where you are. You're 18 years old.
That's right.
You're going to do something stupid.
That's right. And that's what we did. Brad Meltzer, you're amazing. I'm so excited about the book, The Lincoln Conspiracy. It sounds incredible. We're going to read it. We're going to tell everyone, get it. You can get it right now. Thank you for doing the show, as always. We love having you on.
Love you guys. Love this podcast. Please, 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 everyone, keep supporting them. Support Dan's podcast. Support Cheap Seats again. It is so good.
Yeah,
These
go to
guys,
the
you know,
YouTube
we're all
page.
superstars.
You love it. All right, dude. Oh, shit. We got to get back to work.
Dum 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 dum. Stick around, make a sound, hunker down. It's Dumb People Town.
Starburns Audio.
A podcast network.